was near the walls.
You drafted Anthony Richardson, a glaring mistake. He's bad at throwing the ball, and tackles he can't break. His wallet's hurt, Brandin Cooks is too old. A fantasy team doomed to a pitiful show. Nacua got injured in the opening game, a pick that would haunt him, a source of great shame. Injuries plague his team, a never-ending plight. His players are fragile, a painful sight. A curse has befallen him, a fantasy despair. Tony's team's a disaster, beyond repair.
His waiver wire claims are always too cheap. While his rivals were thriving, he met with defeat. He starts the wrong players, week after week. He's finally got a victory, his longest win streak. His bench was a treasure, his lineup a mess. Taylor's version is a team in distress.
Injuries plague his team, a never-ending plight. His players are fragile, a painful sight. A curse has befallen him, a fantasy despair. Tony's team's a disaster, beyond repair. He joined a league chat filled with bravado, but his boasts were hollow, his knowledge so low. The other managers laughed behind his back as he stumbled and fumbled, a pitiful track. He tried to improve, but it was too late. The damage was done, sealed by his fate.
The championship sword was out of his reach. A fantasy football failure, impossible to teach. He swore he'd do better next season for sure, but deep down he knew he'd likely endure.
Another disastrous campaign from the start. Slick's back, baby, but with a broken heart. Injuries plague his team, a never-ending plight. His players are fragile, a painful sight. A curse has befallen him, a fantasy despair. Tony's team's a disaster, beyond repair. Injuries plague his team, a never-ending plight. His players are fragile, a painful sight. A curse has befallen him, a fantasy despair. Tony's team's a disaster, beyond repair.